Hi guys, welcome to another week of SERV12 online. How are you holding up? Hopefully you have everything you need. Hopefully school isn't feeling too overwhelming now that we're all online learners. But if you're running into any problems, remember that my position at Pacific is your collegiate learning instructor. So I'm not just your professor for this class, but I am the go-to person if you need help figuring out how to deal with the stress of life and how to basically learn in all of your classes. So talk to me if you need help. But let's take a look specifically at our course for the week. I think that this is a really important week. Not that any of them are less important, they all are. But this particular week, we're looking at what you want out of the future. And I've done a lot of research on what makes a successful student and what makes a successful person. And ultimately, it's your mindset and your motivation, your attitude. But more specifically, are you doing something that you love? If you were forced into a job, you would have a hard time enjoying that work. But if you find a career that really matches your interests, hopefully you'll love life, you'll love your job. And that's probably why you're all in college, is ultimately to get a job. So we need to think about why we're here: to get a job, to get an education. Well, what in that big picture can you really focus on to help you make those small obtainable goals so that you end up with that career that you really want? So in order to get started, under the week 4 work, I have a whole bunch of surveys for you to take. I think there are 4, well, 4, because you're going to start with this one and then these 3. They will tell you about your personality types as well as your interests. Now, with those things combined, you should be able to get a sense of what type of career path you want to follow. When I was a young student, I thought I wanted to be a soap opera star. I know, that's really random, right? Well, I love performing. I love getting in front of people. I love public speaking, but I didn't want to be famous. I didn't want paparazzi following me around. But I also wanted to make a decent paycheck. I didn't want to just be a community theater performer forever. So I was performing in community theater and I was going to college, and my mom said, well, you should really look into education. So I went on the education path as kind of a last resort. And the moment I stepped into a classroom, I absolutely loved it. So here I am, 17 years later. I am still performing because I'm in front of a camera right now. And I get to work with all of you, and I don't have to be famous. All my YouTube videos are all set to private. So ultimately, I found the career that I love because of my interests. So I want you to think about your interests, and we're going to talk about those in our online discussion and in our reflection assignment this week. So if you didn't turn in your weekly calendar yet, please make sure you do so. I always need those early on in the week. And I think that's the next page there. And our discussion, there we go, talks about your future vision. How many people do you want to work with? Do you want to work in a cubicle or an office by yourself? Do you want to work in a group setting? Do you want to be the boss? Do you want to be the leader or the follower? Do you want fast-paced, high-intense work? Or do you want something that's really routine? There's no right or wrong answer. It's just what you're really interested in your future. I want you to map out your day for us. What time do you wake up? Do you go to work at 10 o'clock? Do you go to work at 7 o'clock? What's your family life like? Do you have a certain amount of hours each day to spend with your family? So really think about what life is like in 10 years and share that with us. And then, of course, tell us if your career path or your school path is leading you to that 10-year plan. On the next page, that's our assignment. And this is a great quote that I love. If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. You've probably heard that before. My grandma used to say this to me all the time when I was little. Again, it's about finding a career that you can be passionate about. So tell me about it. Look at all those assessments that you took this week or that you will take this week. Do your personality traits and your interests align with what you're majoring in? If not, why? Let's think about this. This is your chance to really talk to me about what it is that you want, even if you don't know right now. It's okay to not know what career you want 5-10 years in the future, but what are things that interest you right now that you could look at and incorporate into your educational journey so that hopefully you find that that perfect career one day. All right, guys, so that's what I want from you this week. Remember, you can always talk to me for a Zoom meeting privately or shoot me an email if you want to chat. And I look forward to seeing you in the discussion area. Thanks.